about PlayStation because the CEO of PlayStation has just gotten ousted. He's gone. He's
I mean,
demoted.
you PlayStation fanboys losing games, and now you out here losing CEOs, man. But everything's fine at PlayStation. I can guarantee it. You know, we got 12 live service and subscription games getting canceled, and now we got every single CEO leaving the company. I'm telling you, everything's fine at PlayStation. There's nothing going on here. PlayStation is not dead yet.
He's basically fired from his job. It sounds like.
And what's even more funny, you guys was blaming Jim Ryan for as to why the company of PlayStation hasn't been bringing out any games to you. But that clearly shows you that Sony don't even know what they doing, bro. How many times they're going to replace somebody, bro? And we're going to get the same results. But hey, at least you can look forward to some glorious Xbox games on your PlayStation 5 platform. I mean, this is embarrassing, bro. Like, I mean, you can't. I mean, at this point, you guys can't lie to yourself anymore, man. There's clearly an inherent problem going on with PlayStation with how they're running this company.
Let's talk about this because I gotta admit that the leaving of Hermen Hulst, the expulsion of Hermen Hulst, as it kind of seems like, people are very, very happy about it. I do feel
really?
like PlayStation fans, third-party fans, everybody seems to be kind of unhappy with the pace of PlayStation, and this shakeup, I mean, it can only be a good thing. But
of course it can only be a good thing, but if this was Phil Spencer or Don Matrix leaving the company, Xbox would be dead, Microsoft got no games, it's over for them. You see the dynamic, bro. The fact that you just said that everything's fine, matter of fact, this is a great thing. Weren't you the same dude complaining about how people were losing their jobs, and now you out here saying that it's a good thing that this man got demoted? You know? Oh, let me guess. It's Jim Ryan's fault again, right? You guys are going to still blame Jim Ryan for this? No wonder these CEOs are leaving this company, bro. I'm sorry, bro. The true essence of Sony is dead. I don't care how long that Sony decides to carry this platform. Because the only reason why they're getting carried is because it's third party, and that's right. Xbox games at this point, man. I mean, Sony gonna have to get it together, bro, if they really think I'm gonna pick up a PlayStation 6 after this embarrassment. But let's hear that again.
Third-party fans, everybody seems to be kind of unhappy with the pace of PlayStation, and this shakeup, I mean, it can only be a good thing. But
yeah, this shakeup can only be a good thing, man. You hear this, bro? This is what ponies do, bro. Because if this was Microsoft saying that we're leaving, Phil Spencer's leaving Microsoft, you guys would be saying, he's leaving because Xbox Game Pass Ultimate didn't work out for him and all this. You know, like I said, man, just keep the content consistent. Like I said, if you're going to sit there and say this is about Xbox, then I would expect for you to say the same thing about PlayStation. That's all we're asking, man. If you want to sit there and say that Xbox is dead because a CEO that they once had left the company, that's perfectly fine. But then also keep that same energy with PlayStation, because all we keep hearing is failures after failures, flops, CEOs leaving the company, man. Even CEOs that have been working with them for over 30 years when PlayStation was actually a good company are leaving. Now Hermen Hulst is leaving too? I mean, what are you guys going to do? Blame this on, it's because of Jim Ryan. I mean, he out here ruining it for everybody. Well, if he ruined it for them, then also I can see as to why they ruined it for you and why you guys are looking forward to playing some Xbox games all of a sudden.
Talk. I hope you're having a great day, and if you could, sold a lot of PlayStation 4s, but if you ask that guy to play Spider-Man or anything like that, I mean, clearly he wasn't the kind of guy for that. So
you guys just admitted that the people that run PlayStation ain't really into gaming.
A lot of people were excited when it was announced that Hermen Hulst was going to be the co-CEO, because this is a dude that's been designing games. He worked his way up the ladder. He's a dude who ran. This dude, from everything we've heard, he's much more of the tech side. He is a guy that understands the inner workings of PlayStation.
Bro, and I can guarantee you that PlayStation will be the same. The only thing that Sony is going to do, I can already see it, bro. They're going multi-platform. I find it so ironic that you guys keep saying that that's what Microsoft's doing, which that's clearly what they're doing. But I find it funny how you guys can't see Sony doing the same exact thing, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. this new CEO that you're going to get, you're going to start expecting more of your games dropping on other platforms. I'm telling you, Sony is planning on dropping games for the Nintendo Switch too. And what is the excuse that you guys are going to use? Well, it's not a home console. It's a portable. Go ahead. Sony don't want to invest in the portable market, so they just using the Switch too to make money. Go ahead, bro. That's all you PlayStation fanboys have been doing is moving the flagpole to a whole nother narrative, bro. I mean, at this point, I'm surprised you guys are still on the field with this garbage.
How they make new hardware, and maybe there are those rumors about a PlayStation handheld. Maybe they're putting him in charge because...
Oh, no, there's no need for a PlayStation handheld. The PlayStation handheld will be the Nintendo Switch, too.
Make sure that
that is the new PlayStation handheld.
Xbox,
and guess what? Nintendo games will still do far better than your exclusives.
They're getting the Nintendo Switch 2 and stuff. They want to have a guy who's ready to adapt to maybe different styles of PlayStation being needed.
Yeah, and that adapting is by putting their games on other platforms.
Hermen Hulst is
Game still with another W. I told you we won.
There we go. Developments, publishing, and business operations. Now, Jim said some very stupid stuff at his time. Jim Ryan said nobody wants to play old games. No.
So if anything, Jim Ryan was good for PlayStation. You just said it. Jim Ryan didn't want old games. What do you think you've been playing on your PlayStation 5, man? Old games, remasters, games still with another W. I called this as soon as those games like God of War Ragnarok was coming out. I'm like, hold on. These ain't no PlayStation 5 games. These are PS4 games masqueraded with the PS5 label. And y'all sat there and say, well, it's 4K 60 though. That's what we getting on our platform and you ain't getting it on Airbox. And guess what? Just to find out that every time Sony decides to do an Unreal Engine 5 game, it's capped at 30 and you ponies have said nothing. I mean, if anything, you guys have been completely quiet about that game. Same thing with Concord. You know, I mean, same thing with Rise of Ronin dropping on PC. I thought that's why you picked up your platform. And now look at it. It's on another one. I mean, you guys are capping, bruh.
Nobody likes retro stuff. It doesn't matter.
Oh, really? Is that the reason as to why you had Last of Us Remake, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, I mean, Miles Morales cross-gen, God of War Ragnarok cross-gen, Forbidden West cross-gen, you had the other Horizon game, cross-gen PS4 Remastered, whatever you decide to want to call that. What are you talking about here, buddy? Gran Turismo 7, cross-gen. Y'all didn't even get a next-generation racing game, bro. Y'all been playing glorified PS4 titles with better resolutions and frame rates. That is it. This is what we was trying to tell you, bro. You guys was acting like, oh, we picked up the PS5 for the real exclusives. What exclusives did you get? Because even the PS4 had majority of those games, too. Sackboy, what is it? The Sackboy Adventure PS4 game, bro. The list still goes on, man.
New games matter. And a lot of people ended up really turning against Jim Ryan at the end. So it's funny that Hermen...
Which is funny. You guys turned against the guy that wanted better for PlayStation. I can guarantee you Sony's like, yeah, we appreciate your concerns, Jim, but we're going to have to play it safe because out of all that admiration that you have for this company, we can't afford to do what you're trying to do. It'd be funny if Jim Ryan starts working with Microsoft. I mean, it's crazy. They even have a CEO that worked for PlayStation is now working under Tencent. And you ponies still want to believe that these companies care about us.
Hulst, who basically trained beneath Jim Ryan for a decade, takes over and then immediately starts greenlighting a bunch of projects as well that nobody really wants. Jim Ryan and Hermen Hulst...
And nobody wanted those remasters and remakes, but Sony said, you know what? These games was popular on PS4. Let's play it safe. It's not going to cost us that much money, so let's just keep remaking the same old games. I mean, at this point, bro, Sony's over, bro. They're done for me, man. I will never go back to respecting Sony the way that I used to. This is a garbage company.
Gone good. The pretending that they were good CEOs was pathetic. Get the company out.
And that's what y'all was doing. Y'all, bro, now I'm glad you want to sit there and say, oh yeah, Jim Ryan and Hermen. Bro, I was calling Hermen out before anybody. And y'all was sitting there saying he's going to be far better than Jim Ryan. Bro, it's so funny, man, that every time these ponies decide to talk, sometimes I'm like, are they talking about themselves? Because you guys were the ones giving them credit. I'm telling you, these people are leaving the company because Sony don't want to put the money into a lot of those projects that they got going on.
California and go back to Japan and get back to business.
Bro, Japan don't even make the console no more, bro. Japan literally gave up during the PS3 generation. The only reason as to why the PS4 is even, or PS4 or 5 even exists, is mostly due to third party and the American and UK gaming department. That's it. So if you want to be technical, PlayStation really died with PS3.
I have seen some people say that they did like, the way that Japan is still such a big market for the Nintendo Switch.
No, it's not. You're lying to yourself. Japan is actually one of the smallest markets in gaming, bro. What are you talking about, bro? Japan people ain't picking up games like Americans. They're not picking up games like everybody else in the world. Bro, you guys are living in the 90s, bro. These things are not happening no more. How hard is it for you people to understand that these people don't care about gaming? Let's not forget, these are the same people that picked up the DS because they didn't want to play on no 360 or PS3. If anything, Japan called it before any of y'all. Oh, we play portables, and now look at y'all playing on the Switch too. But they still pale in comparison to the ones that are picking these games up in the West. Most of these games that are dominating are from the West.
I've seen some people say that if they move it back to Japan primarily, like this guy's being short and sweet about it, but I have seen some people say that
if they move it back to Japan, Sony is most definitely going under, because even the Japanese don't even care about your games either. I mean, majority of your games was Japanese. Final Fantasy, Rebirth. I'm not even going to add 16. Japanese games. And they didn't want them. They didn't want Rise of Ronin. They didn't care for Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Those games is Japanese. Even the Japanese don't even want it. So y'all gonna sit there and act like, well, Sony go back to being how they used to be with Japanese, and then, they gonna change it. Bro, it's gonna be the same thing. Why do you think Square's like, oh, we ain't focusing on this no more, man? We're a Japanese company, and we ain't even making no money. Same thing with, I don't know, Stellar Blade, but I'm saying, it's one of those games, and they didn't care enough to pick it up.
A lot of the development costs, a lot of the longer production schedules, a lot of that stuff is just because apparently that's how they make games in the U.S.
Y'all just don't want to admit nobody cares about y'all games.
Whereas in Japan, they're still good about making 3-year games. I'm not sure it's that easy of a short and sweet answer, but it is interesting.
Once the movie idea got played out from the Western audience, now Sony's like, oh man, we're going to have to come up with a new gimmick. We're going to have to come up with a new strategy. People ain't falling for these cinematics no more. People don't want to play no more movies. People want to go back to playing video games.
Saying that. Happy PlayStation has a Japanese CEO and can hopefully focus on the Japanese market more than before. Handheld hardware too.
Yeah, and that handheld hardware is going to be the Nintendo Switch too, so you ain't got to worry about that.
Now, Ginkai, this dude, I love his account because he lives in Japan. It
doesn't matter because most Japanese people ain't even playing games, bro. That's facts, bro. I'm not going to sit there and have people lie, bro. Gaming is where it's at because of the Western audience. That is facts, bro. You guys can sit there and deny that, bro, all you want. But the most popular games are what, guys? Westernized. If Japanese had that much power into the gaming landscape, you would see Japanese. Even the Japanese games that y'all played were still Westernized. Metal Gear, Resident Evil. Those are the games that people playing, which are all Westernized. Bro, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just go ahead. Big people. He also finds all sorts of
Castlevania, Contra, all Westernized. All have Westernized themes.
And stuff like that. So I'm always curious to see his takes on this. And it's the fact that he's being like, yeah, man, I'm glad that this guy is being elevated to the sole
and nothing
CEO.
will change.
Hermen Hulst is no longer there. So I think this is a good sign. So basically, Hulst is back to his position. I do think this is a firing. I do not think this was optional. I do truly believe.
Oh, so then you could also say that all the other aspects of Jim Ryan and all these other people leaving, like like Yoshida, they didn't get left off either. You just said that I do believe that they fired him. That's what you're essentially saying. So if you're saying that, then you can say for every other example of a CEO that stepped down or left the PlayStation company, that also means that was the same thing.
Heart of hearts that Sony...
It's easier for us to say that Jim Ryan, resigned and, he's retiring than if you just said you fired him. It's easier to say that. So clearly there's a problem going on with PlayStation.
Sees the rumblings. There's talks about the fact that Sony, Microsoft, a lot of these companies know what the other people are up to just because they kind of talk about release dates and stuff to each other.
Which also shows you that they don't care about your little console war.
I think
they're all talking.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a giant It's going to be a juggernaut. The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to
Man, be
freaking
quiet,
rock
bro.
the industry. And
I can see why people just get tired of you, bro.
Stand by that. But I think it is interesting to me that I almost think it kind of signals that that they're like, okay, we're just gonna sit back. We're gonna figure this out. We want to be ready to adapt to what comes next.
Because and they're gonna adapt by putting their games on the Nintendo Switch too.
If the Nintendo Switch 2 blows up, we want to have a hardware guy that's able to.
They're not making their own hardware, bro. Why do you guys think that PlayStation is gonna make a hardware to compete with the Switch 2 when all Sony got to do is put games on Switch 2 and let the money come to them without having to deal with the fact of selling hardware? You guys don't get it, do you? You guys don't get it. The exclusivity is dying, bro. I'm telling you. I'm going to sit there and say this because I want to make sure I'm the first person. Nintendo is going to be pushing for PC gaming too. Y'all like, what? Yes. And the reason why I say that, right? Not right now because they're making their money, but Nintendo is also going to push for PC games. You're going to start seeing Nintendo games on PC hardware. I'm going to be the first. Y'all make sure that when it happens, 5, 7, 10 years down the road, y'all make sure Gamester told me. I remember hearing it from him. Shared the video around to let everybody know if they want to call my cap. And I guarantee 10, 15 years, you're going to see what I just said was true. Nintendo's going to push for PC gaming. And the reason why I say that, because they're not making their own hardware in regards to main console hardware, like, primary devices like consoles. So Nintendo don't care. They can make their money off their Switch, and then they can continue to make money off the PC. But you know how people keep complaining about how, we don't get them high-powered Nintendo games. Well, Nintendo understands that. They know that. So they're going to use that PC for that while also having the Switch. They're going to still do the Switch brand as they portable. This is what's going to happen. This is the future that even Nintendo is going to push for, and Sony is going to be putting their games on Switch too.
Adapt and not have a co-CEO.
Watch.
If Xbox...
So you guys, you know what they say. Laugh now, but I can guarantee you cry later. Make as many reaction videos claiming that my point is wrong. Because, of course, we could sit there and say that. Because it's going to take time for these things that I'm telling you to happen. But I'm telling you, in the inevitable future, this is the direction where gaming is going. Watch.
It does.
You'll see.
Completely third party.
You'll see.
Starts making tons of Valve boxes and stuff like that.
They don't, bro. This guy, he don't get it, bro. He don't get it, bro. This is not the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, bro. We don't live in this era no more.
To the industry, then.
And when I'm hearing too from Nintendo, I'm hearing Nintendo is not going to put their games on Steam. They're going to put it through their own distributor on PC to make their own money. This is going to get really interesting, man. I'll probably talk about that a little bit later in a different video. But yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
Talking to Concord Hermen Hulst about what to do next. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts.
Yeah, off-the-cuff. Man, these ain't, bro. You people don't want to admit it, bro. I'm just going to end the video with myself. Y'all don't want to admit that exclusives don't matter. Gaming is going multi-plat. Just like Nintendo. Y'all like, Nintendo would never do that because they don't need to. Yes, but I'm telling you, Nintendo don't want to make powerful gaming hardware. They're going to use NVIDIA and whoever to push their games through a distributing service on PC by essentially keeping Steam out of it, which will be detrimental to Steam. That will kind of be like, whoa, you know what I mean? Because Nintendo games are definitely a lot more preferable in general than a lot of the games they offered on Steam. So that's going to be something Nintendo's going to push in the inevitable future. Sony's going to be putting games on Switch too. Also, too, some games will be dropping on Xbox. At the end of the day, these companies all know that the way gaming is going, it can no longer stay afloat. The budgets are getting too high. Microsoft is the only one doing AAAs. They have become the main distributor of AAA gaming in regards to all the platforms. It's done. What do you people don't understand? You guys are fighting a war that don't exist. I'm telling you, it's all done. It's all ashes. These companies don't care. Even for the Nintendo fan that wants to argue my point, bro, I'm telling you, that's where Nintendo's going through. Give it time. Of course, they ain't got to do it right away because they taking their sweet time. But when that time does come, Nintendo gonna push portable like they always done, but they're gonna use the PC set-top boxes to push for the home console so they can make even more money. They've already tried to do some of it with the mobile phones. How do y'all not see this, bruh? The proof is already there in front of you. But it's my IP. They care about it. They would never do that, bruh. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking Sony care about you. Because I'm telling you, dumb games dropping on that Switch too, man. Dumb games is coming. They coming. That's why that Switch is as powerful as a PS4, because they know Sony told, hey, we'll put some games on there, make it as powerful as a PS4, and there you go. You'll see. Y'all, bro, I'm telling you, Sony's only going to go back to next gen when the PS6 exists, and they're still going to do cross-gen. Microsoft has taken over the gaming industry, and you people don't want to admit it. It's over, bro. Still keep it being attached to my plastic box. That's why Microsoft's saying gaming is bigger than that. You see Fortnite, you see Roblox, it's bigger than the platform itself. Microsoft want a little piece of that action. Nintendo even want a little piece of that action. They're just hustling y'all for right now. But when that time comes, they go into that PC route by also pushing a portable, and Sony will be pushing games on the Nintendo Switch too, because they're already doing it for the Steam Deck and every other PC device that's out there. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I know it's going to take some time to see these things, but hopefully, if you see that some of these Switch 2 Sony games drop on the Switch 2, then you could be like, maybe Gamesta's sources, maybe Gamesta's mindset is actually really what's going on here. Maybe I got to start listening to him. But we'll see. We'll hold that one. Hold that one on me. Is Sony putting games on a Switch too? Hold that one on me, because when you see it, you're going to be like, wow, Gamester told me the truth. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, it doesn't pay to be a fanboy.